Advise is unparalleled in its excellence. The concept of building a substantial net worth was introduced to me by a millionaire whom I admired during my childhood. This idea has remained with me ever since. I used to worry that I'd never have enough money to afford the things I'd always dreamed of. First, the millionaire's advice to me was to not concern myself with earning millions, but rather to focus on accumulating the first $100,000. According to him, once this milestone is reached, the growth of one's net worth becomes exponential. At the time, I didn't fully comprehend his words, but I followed his advice, and to my surprise, it proved successful. Why is the initial $100,000 the most challenging to achieve? There are two primary reasons for this. Fund owners are, firstly, it relates to your earning power. Think of it as your level in a video game. Then you're new to the game, you have not yet developed the necessary skills to compete with more experienced players. Similarly, when it comes to making money, this issue becomes even more pronounced when you are younger. A recent study revealed that the purchasing power of Generation Z is approximately actually than that of baby boomers at the same age. This disparity can be attributed in part to the prolonged presence of older individuals in the workforce, resulting in a scarcity of well-paid positions. However, the situation is not entirely bleak, as the internet provides younger individuals with ample opportunities to earn significantly more money than their older counterparts. This advantage arises from the fact that many older individuals lack proficiency in utilizing platforms such as Instagram, let alone establishing a lucrative online side business. In the realm of technology, there are few baby boomers who can keep pace with the younger generation. The problems with the accumulating challenge and accumulating your first 100 is the absence of compound interest. Consider your money as a snowball that gains momentum as it rolls downhill, symbolizing your investments. It may seem promising. There are limitations. If your initial investment is less than 100K, your snowball will not be substantial enough to accumulate significant income, thereby rendering the benefits of compound interest negligible. If you invest $10,000 in an IPv 500 index fund and get an average annual return of 5, which is the historical expectation, your initial investment will rise to $14,175 after 5 years. That like one is to a period of 5 whole years in order to accumulate a total of $4,175. The various compass for attaining the initial 100,000 units is a formidable task, mostly dependent on the extent to which you can augment your investment capital rather than relying solely on the compounding interest generated. Consequently, one must strive to increase their income by any means possible. Personally, I encountered a similar situation. Additionally, I resisted the temptation to expend my earnings on vacations and fashionable attire, which proved to be quite challenging. However, I assure you that the effort is worthwhile, as once you reach the milestone of earning your first $100,000, the process of multiplying your wealth becomes significantly more effortless. The reason behind the exponential growth of net worth beyond $100,000 lies in the phenomenon of compound interest, which transitions from being unremarkable to appearing remarkably extraordinary. Examine this chart to observe the progression of investing 10K annually with a C Venn average yearly return. This will take approximately 7.84 years to increase from 0 to 100K. However, the duration to reach 200K from 100K is only 5.1 years. Consequently, it will take 2.74 years less to accumulate the second 100K compared to the first, which is 35 faster. Furthermore, expanding the analysis, it takes 3.78 years to go from 200K to 200K, 3 or 400K from 300K, and a mere 2.5 years to progress from 400K to $500,000. Creatures, although we could continue, I believe grasp the concept, observe the chart's rapid and erratic behavior, which occurs only after the initial accumulation of 100,000 units of currency. The crucial strategy lies in expediting the attainment of this substantial sum. Encounter the significant impact of reducing the time required to reach the milestone by just a few years. Take note of the significant acceleration in your path to becoming a millionaire once you reach this stage. It is highly likely that you will amass money if you simply allocate your funds to a low-cost index fund. If your sole intention was to accumulate this $100,000 and allocate it towards an NFI 500 index fund with no further investment activity, assuming you have no knowledge of your account and have entirely forgot about it, you'd still amass a fortune of $1 million during a span of 33 years. So this exemplifies the remarkable potency of compound interest, particularly after reaching the initial milestone of earning $100,000. Now, the question arises, how does one achieve this initial sum of $100,000? The answer lies in diligently adhering to the growth technique. I independently devised this strategy, which proved beneficial throughout the initial stages of accumulating riches. I hope it can be of assistance to you as well. Or the GIA, gain control of your finances, refers to the process of managing your financial situation. So the only effective method to achieve this control is through budgeting. It is important to emphasize the significance of budgeting in order to avoid any misunderstanding. Listed budgeting is not a rigid set of rules intended to prevent you from enjoying yourself. Rather, it is a guide that directs you towards making more educated decisions. I'm not suggesting that you must be excessively thrifty with your finances, but it is essential to comprehend the distinction between your essential requirements and your desires. The RA in the acronym represents the principle of reading your investments. For instance, if you allocate $250 per month to NFP 500 index fund and achieve an average annual return of 7 over a span of 40 years, your total investment will amount to $656,000. Remarkably, $536,000 of this sum is generated through compound interest, meaning that you only contribute $120,000 of your own funds. I understand that you may be concerned about the timing of this achievement as it may coincide with your old age. However, if you manage to invest the initial, your $1,000 as soon as possible, you will fare much better than the aforementioned example. Now that you're generating income, it is crucial to focus on the O in the acronym, which represents optimizing your tax management. While it may appear sophisticated, in actuality, the concept is rather straightforward. Evade tax payments. Allow me to clarify this matter unequivocally. Tax avoidance is completely fine and something that smart people do. Tax evasion, on the other hand, is illegal. And if you're earning more, you should pay more tax. I agree with you. And the rich do pay the majority of the taxes, but there could also be an incentive for someone to become entrepreneurs. They provide jobs for the rest of society. And luckily, there's entrepreneurs are taxed off the profits they make at the end of each year, which means they can deduct expenses from their earnings. These are called write-offs. This is different from an employee as they're taxed off their monthly salary. So say you're passionate about the latest tech, like the new iPhone, you could start a YouTube channel reviewing gadgets, and once it's generating new money, you could deduct the cost of your tech items from your profit and get them tax-free. Essentially, the government has helped you to pay for the item you want. However, you can only do this within reason. Your business or side hustle has to have a need for this item. In other words, it must be a justifiable expense. That's why starting your business around your passion can be a great way to save a lot of tax. So next up, we have a WWE doubt. Did you know the average American carries $21,300 of debt? So if you're in debt, then you're not alone. As soon as possible, list out all your debts and prioritize them based on their interest rates. So all the debts that you own with the highest interest rates are the ones you need to tackle first. This is the dark side, compound interest. If you don't understand it, then it can actually start to work against you. Think of it like the hot sun beating down the snow. You're trying to collect to make your first 100K. If you have too much debt melting it away, then you're never going to get to the stage where your money is working for you. So my advice for this one is to make tiny snowflake payments where possible, because every little helps. Don't give up though, because neglecting your debt will cause you a lot of stress in the future. So although it feels like you're losing money from the payments, think of it as an investment towards your first 100K. Stands for tap into additional streams of income. Yes, I'm talking about starting a side hustle. As of 2023, 50 of Americans have a side hustle. Even if they earn over 100 per year, a side hustle gives you multiple advantages. By diversifying your income, you'll have more money to put into your tax advantage account. So more investments. And again, you're just adding more snow to your snowball, allowing for compound interest to take its course. Avatar of Life 13 represents the concept of heightened self-discipline. First is in order to implement the ideas we have discussed, it is crucial to discover and cultivate your inner discipline. Personal discipline serves as the key to achieving success. As the more you cultivate it, the more prosperous your future will be. Remember to subscribe if you are eager to enhance your financial prosperity. I look to seeing you there.